The cameras flashed. The crowd froze. And just like that, Hollywood had a new obsession.
Oh, it was an absolute frenzy.
Right. I mean, imagine the sweltering heat of a California summer night. The heavy bass of a reggae concert just thumping through the Costa Mesa fairgrounds.
Yeah, totally painting a picture here.
Yeah, exactly. And in a VIP box, flanked by an Orange County Sheriff's deputy, sits an NBA superstar and a mystery woman.
Completely disguised, right?
Yes, completely disguised in formal jackets, sipping from a flask, and refusing to give the world the one thing it wants, a public display of affection. Welcome to StarScope Report.
So glad to be here for this one.
Join Jordan and Jamie as they uncover Hollywood drama, music industry shakeups, and viral influencer scandals.
Yeah, from red carpet surprises to social media controversies, we dive deep into the stories behind the fame.
We really do. And for you listening, here is our mission for this deep dive. We're taking a close look at Dallas Mavericks star Klay Thompson's mysterious new outing.
Which is just wild on its own.
It really is. Plus, we're unpacking the explosive wreckage of his recent relationship with Megan Thee Stallion and the bizarre financial markets where fans are literally betting thousands of dollars on their love lives.
I mean, think about the massive contrast here. We had this highly public, incredibly messy split back in April of 2026.
Yeah, it was everywhere.
Right, and after that, absolute radio silence. Like, Klay essentially vanished from the celebrity gossip radar entirely.
He went completely off the grid.
Exactly. And then he resurfaces in this highly orchestrated yet, supposedly casual setting. Stepping out in public is always a high-stakes game when you are under the celebrity microscope.
Oh, for sure.
But doing it post-scandal, that changes the rules entirely. Like, every single detail is scrutinized.
So, let's paint the picture of this Saturday night, because the details reported by outlets like TMZ and Prasia are just so specific.
They really are.
Klay is 36 years old now. He's at the Orange County Fair watching a reggae group called Revolution.
It's just a great band, by the way.
Oh, totally. Now, a reggae concert at a county fair sounds like, I don't know, the most laid-back, low-stakes environment possible, right?
I really think so, yeah.
But here's the detail that the internet absolutely latched onto. It is midsummer in Southern California. The heat is just sweltering.
It's unbearable that time of year.
Right. Yet Klay and this unidentified woman are sitting in a VIP box dressed in formal, heavy jackets.
Which is just, the wardrobe choice alone is a massive statement.
A statement? Or just weird?
Well, both.
Yeah.
But when you are a high-profile athlete, you understand the visual language of paparazzi culture. Wearing a heavy jacket in the summer heat isn't an accident.
You think it was on purpose?
Oh, absolutely. It acts as armor. It's a way to obscure your physical presence, to hide your silhouette from, telephoto lenses.
Oh, wow. I didn't even think about the lenses.
Yeah, and it establishes this very deliberate stylistic boundary between yourself and the environment you're in.
But wait, hold on. I have to push back on that a little bit.
Okay, let's hear it.
Like, could this just be a case of a guy who doesn't want to end up on TMZ while he's trying to enjoy a date? It feels like we might be over-intellectualizing a jacket.
That's fair. That's fine.
Maybe they just wanted to sip from their flask, listen to some music, and just be left alone. Hence, the private security guard and the Orange County Sheriff's deputy flanking the booth.
That's a fair point, but in the ecosystem of celebrity PR, intention often matters way less than the actual result.
Meaning what, exactly?
Meaning, when you show up to a very public fairgrounds with law enforcement flanking your VIP box, you are creating a spectacle, whether you want to or not.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. You can't bring a sheriff's deputy to a county fair and expect to blend in.
Exactly. But the most important part of the sighting wasn't what they were wearing. It was what they weren't doing.
Right.
That they maintained a strict no PDA policy, like absolutely zero physical contact.
Which is crazy for a date. And by the third song, the crowd catches on. Phones go up, flashes go off, and immediately the internet is in an absolute uproar, dissecting their body language.
We were tearing it apart frame by frame.
Yeah. The fact that they weren't touching became like the biggest story of the night.
Because of the visual vacuum it creates, we talk a lot about the psychological weight of the post-breakup debut.
Oh, the debut is everything.
It is. When two people sit stiffly, or they purposely avoid touching while knowing cameras are on them, it creates a void of information.
Right.
And human nature, especially on the internet, just abhors a vacuum. So the public rushes to fill that empty space with their own speculation.
Like, is it a business meeting, a first date?
Exactly. Or a PR stunt to show he's moved on. The restraint itself basically becomes the narrative.
I really love that concept of a visual vacuum. It's almost like playing a high-stakes poker game where folding your hand, showing absolutely zero affection is actually your biggest tell.
That's a great way to put it.
Right, because if they were making out in the VIP box, the headline is simple. Klay has a new girlfriend. People read it, they process it, and the news cycle moves on in 24 hours.
Yep, the mystery is solved, so people lose interest.
Exactly. But by giving the paparazzi absolutely nothing, you somehow give the internet everything to talk about. The mystery sustains the media attention.
Precisely. It leaves the nature of the relationship completely undefined. But, to truly understand why a simple reggae concert blew up the internet, you have to look at the explosive, dramatic wreckage Klay was walking away from.
Oh, the wreckage was monumental.
Right. The public isn't scrutinizing this new woman in a vacuum. They are scrutinizing her in the heavy shadow of his last romance.
And wait till you hear what came next.
Yeah.
But hey, if you're loving these Hollywood twists, make sure you're subscribed. We've got even crazier stories ahead.
Because if we want to understand the tension of this Orange County Fair sighting, we really have to look at the inferno that preceded it.
The absolute inferno.
Yeah, the contrast between this quiet, guarded date and the loud, chaotic implosion of his relationship with Megan Thee Stallion is just staggering.
It's night and day. And for you listening, we're not just jumping topics here. We need to explore the why behind the internet's obsession.
Exactly. Context is everything.
Like, why is a simple date making international news? It's because his romance with Megan went from 0 to 100 and then crashed into a brick wall in under a year.
Well, let's unpack the chronology of that relationship because the pacing is just vital to understanding the fallout.
Okay, lay it out for us.
Based on the timelines laid out by magazines like L'Officiel and Madame Noir, the golden era started in the summer, specifically July 2025.
Ah, yes. The classic celebrity maneuver, the Instagram soft launch.
The soft launch, it's an art form at this point.
It really is. Klay just happened to be, casually lounging in the background of one of Megan's poolside photos. It's that blink and you miss it strategy.
Right.
But why do celebrities do that? I mean, why not just come out and say, hey, we're dating?
So a soft launch is essentially a PR test balloon. It allows the celebrity to gauge the public's reaction and check the media's temperature without making any official, on-the-record commitment.
Oh, so it gives them an out.
Exactly. It gives them plausible deniability. If the internet reacts poorly, they can just say, oh, we're just hanging out, we're friends.
Right.
But if the reception is warm, it paves the way for the hard launch.
And the hard launch came just days later. They did not wait long.
No, they stepped right into the spotlight.
They arrived together at Megan's Pete and Thomas Foundation Gala in New York City. And we're talking red carpet, flashing lights, formal attire. They went from a blurry background figure to the main event literally overnight.
It was a very deliberate rollout, and it signaled stability.
Yeah, they looked like a power couple.
They did. And that stability was tested publicly a few months later in November 2025. This is a really fascinating moment where sports media sort of crossed over into celebrity gossip.
Oh, the Jason Williams drama. Yes. Podcast host Jason Williams controversially blamed Klay's loss of his Maverick starting spot on his relationship with Megan.
Which was just such a wild leap to make.
Oh, it was ridiculous.
And Klay did not hold back. He fiercely defended her, taking to social media to call those comments quote, disgusting and disturbing.
Which was a massive deal. Athletes don't always step in like that.
Honestly, from a public relations standpoint, that made everyone root for them even more. He stepped up as the protective partner.
He played the role perfectly.
He did. And that brings us to February 2026. Klay Day. His 36th birthday.
The infamous birthday.
Megan goes all out. She gives him a private performance by his absolute favorite group, Bone Thugs-n-Harmony.
Which is an incredible gift, honestly.
So cool. But the cherry on top, she openly stated to her fans that she was manifesting an engagement.
Okay, we need to talk about that word.
Manifesting?
Yes. That word is a massive psychological anchor for a fan base. When a star of Megan's caliber publicly speaks about manifesting an engagement, she is setting a very distinct expectation. Right, she's putting it out into the universe.
Exactly. And in the PR world, it's a dangerous game because it signals to her massive, fiercely loyal audience that this is a safe, secure, and permanent partnership.
She basically pushed all her chips to the center of the table.
That's exactly what she did. Which is exactly why the fall was so catastrophic. You really can't quietly undo a manifested engagement.
No, you cannot. Which leads us to April 25th, 2026, the explosive end.
It was a shockwave.
Megan drops a post that literally shakes the internet. She talks about, and I quote, holding you down through all your horrible mood swings, and then reveals that he actively questioned monogamy.
Just airing it all out.
Completely. And the fallout wasn't just contained to social media, it hit her professional life hard. She drops out of Moulin Rouge the musical on Broadway, citing personal reasons.
And you don't just drop out of Broadway without a massive reason. The collateral damage of this breakup was incredibly extensive.
It really touched every part of her world.
It did. And the internet essentially went into full investigative journalism mode. WNBA player Lexi Brown was suddenly dragged into the crossfire by online sleuths.
Oh, yeah. She had to publicly deny cheating rumors. That was a whole mess.
Total mess. And then Megan's ex-boyfriend, Party Fontaine, started posting cryptic videos online. It escalated from a normal breakup to a multi-character pop culture event.
It was like a movie.
Yeah, and it's important to clarify here, for the sake of the narrative, we aren't taking sides on who did what behind closed doors. We're just observing how these allegations reported in the media fueled a massive public reaction.
Exactly. We're looking at the anatomy of the scandal.
Yeah.
And, when you look at Klay's historical timeline, a distinct pattern emerges that the internet yearly weaponized.
Right. The history definitely played a part.
The narrative of him being a quote-unquote serial cheater didn't just fall out of the sky. If we look back, there were messy cheating claims from influencer Hannah Stocking way back in 2014.
I remember that.
Yeah, and then there were heavily scrutinized rumors during his time with actress Laura Harrier from 2018 to 2020.
Also a very high-profile relationship.
Yep. And then his quieter relationship with singer Coco Jones from 2021 to 2023.
This is where we see a really profound clash of personal brands. On one side, you have Klay Thompson. Historically, his brand has been the quiet, stoic, nice guy athlete.
The chill guy.
Right. He's the guy who loves his boat, loves his bulldog, and just keeps a low profile. But beneath that carefully curated exterior, there is this historical trail of relationship drama.
So the internet framed it like he's the golden retriever who is secretly, still a dog.
That is exactly the sentiment that caught fire online.
Wow.
And on the other side of this clash, you have Megan Thee Stallion. Her entire brand is built on vocal, unapologetic independence.
Oh, 100%.
She does not tolerate disrespect, and she is fiercely protective of her peace and her boundaries. So when Klay's alleged private behavior collided with Megan's very public, very rigid boundaries, the explosion wasn't just likely, it was inevitable.
And that's not even the wildest part. Later in the episode, we'll talk about a shocking financial twist to this breakup that literally nobody saw coming.
I still can't believe this part of the story.
Because you'd think, right, after a breakup that messy, with Broadway contracts broken and ex-boyfriends chiming in, the story would simply end.
Normally, yes, it would just fade away.
But pop culture fans have found a new, honestly surreal way to cope with the cognitive dissonance of their favorite couple splitting up.
They don't just tweet about their theories anymore.
No, they don't.
They financially invest in them.
Like move over Wall Street, because we are literally gambling on romance now.
Ooh.
According to Prediction Hunt, which tracks these prediction markets, millions of dollars have been wagered on a Klay and Megan 2026 engagement. And that is after the messy split.
It is a remarkable evolution of fan culture and financial technology just colliding. There is an active contract on these platforms asking a simple binary question.
What's the question?
Will Klay Thompson and Megan Thee Stallion be engaged this year? Yes or no?
Okay, I really need you to break this down for me, because for anyone listening who doesn't day trade crypto, how does an engagement even have odds?
Right, it sounds totally bizarre.
It does. And how do those odds surge randomly from a 5% chance to a 20% chance in just 3 days in early August?
The market moves fast.
Too fast. And on one specific platform, Polymarket, the odds hit a massive 34%. Over a third of the market betting that these two are putting a ring on it by December 31st.
So to understand the mechanics here, think of it like buying shares in an outcome. If shares of yes are trading at 34 cents, the market is essentially saying there's a 34% chance of it happening.
Okay, tracking so far.
If they do get engaged, that share pays out $1. If they don't, it goes to $0. Now, to understand why people are buying yes shares after such a toxic breakup, we really have to look at the Steelman case.
The Steelman case, what's that?
It's the strongest possible argument for the bettor's logic, like giving them the ultimate benefit of the doubt.
Well, let's hear the logic, because from where I'm sitting, putting actual money on this seems insane.
I don't disagree. But the bettors are looking at the velocity of the relationship. They moved incredibly fast initially.
True. The soft launch to hard launch pipeline was quick.
Very quick. And Megan was openly manifesting an engagement in February. The bettors are speculating that the public anger in April was just a moment of intense, temporary emotion.
Oh, so they think it was just a bad fight.
Exactly. They're hoping for a compressed timeline. They're basically betting that behind closed doors, away from the PR teams, the two have secretly reconciled and are just planning to shock the world.
Wow. So imagine you are watching a stock ticker, right? But instead of tech companies or airlines, you're trading shares in someone's broken heart.
That's exactly what it is.
It's financialized fan fiction. People are putting their actual life savings on the line for a Hollywood ending.
It is financialized fan fiction, and if we systematically dismantle the bettor's logic using actual facts, the whole foundation completely crumbles.
Tear it down. Let's hear it.
First, consider the nature of the breakup. Megan didn't just quietly unfollow him on Instagram. She made a public accusation of infidelity and mood swings.
Yeah, she burned the bridge.
She did. To walk that back would cost her immense reputational capital. It would directly contradict her core brand of self-respect.
Right. And you mentioned her exiting Moulin Rouge earlier. You don't abandon a massive Broadway production, breaking real-world contracts and letting down a huge cast and crew over a temporary lover's quarrel.
No, you definitely don't.
That implies a severe structural disruption to her life.
Exactly. And the most damning evidence against this reunion is actually in the financial data itself.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You mentioned Polymarket had the odds at 34%. But if you look at Kalshi, which is a regulated U.S. prediction market, the odds were sitting at a much more realistic 7%.
Wait, pause. Why does a 27-point spread between two platforms matter? Like, if it's the exact same question, shouldn't the odds be the same everywhere?
That is the crucial point here. If someone actually had insider information, say, a jeweler or a close friend who knew they were getting back together, they would exploit the odds on every single platform to make guaranteed money.
Oh, that makes sense. Arbitrage.
Exactly. That financial pressure would bring the numbers closer together across all markets. So a massive 27-point gap tells us there is absolutely no insider information.
Wow. So why the difference?
Well, Polymarket is heavily crypto-based, which means it's often driven by hype, momentum, and, meme culture. Kalshi uses regulated US dollars and tends to be way more grounded.
So the spread essentially proves this is a market driven by blind hope and speculative momentum, not reality.
100%.
They are literally betting on a ghost ship. It's wild. Stay tuned and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss what's coming next, because honestly, the way we interact with these stories is changing so incredibly fast.
It really is. I mean, we are watching the complete commodification of human relationships in real time.
And that brings me to a question for you, the person listening to this right now. I want you to consider how our consumption of celebrity relationships has mutated.
It's a great question to ask.
Think about it. When Klay Thompson goes on a private date at a reggae concert, bundled up in a heavy jacket, sipping from a flask, it doesn't just make a headline anymore.
No, it has tangible consequences.
It instantly affects the quote-unquote stock price of his love life on a betting app. Thousands of dollars literally change hands because he chose not to hold a mystery woman's hand during a Revolution song.
It fundamentally blurs the line between empathy and economics. We stop seeing them as people navigating complex emotions and start seeing them as volatile assets.
Exactly. It makes you wonder, are these stars still human beings to us? Like people who get their hearts broken, who make mistakes, who have to awkwardly navigate a highly scrutinized post-breakup date at a county fair.
You'd hope so.
Right. Or have they just become data points in our own entertainment portfolios? When we start trading shares on whether two people will fix a broken relationship, it feels like we've crossed a very strange line.
It's a fascinating and honestly slightly terrifying lens through which to view modern pop culture.
You've been listening to StarScope Report, where Jordan and Jamie uncover the stories shaping Hollywood, music, and pop culture. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories that keep the stars shining.